Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with your Piney podcast. Big news. Atillis Gym. New Jersey government seizes $165,000 from Atillis Gym's bank account, 100% of the gym's assets for the, quote, crime of remaining open, according to the Gateway pundit. This isn't about a particular gym, folks. I know Pineys out there. There's been a lot of controversy about one of the owners of Atillis Gym. They don't like him for various reasons in his past. I'm not going to go into it. All I'm going to say is this. That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You have to defend everybody on this, because what you're essentially doing is saying that the governor of your state has the power to close down your business. And then when you defy the order, and it was an order, it wasn't a law. It's an executive order, like a king. That's not what we do. Okay? That's why I call him Governor Tyrant Phil Murphy of Goldman Sachs. That's tyrannical. Okay? I've always said he's tyrannical. And this is really tyrannical, to seize the assets. These guys are in court against the government. They've seized their money to pay their lawyers. Okay, first off, the entire court case, they're going to win. Atillis Gym is going to win. And they're going to win big. And they're going to get all that money back. Plus, the state's going to have to pay them interest. Plus, we're paying for the lawyers that defend the state in this nonsense. We paid for the people to take their money. And when we lose this case, and we will lose it, Phil Murphy will lose this case, we will pay the reparations to Atillis Gym. It'll come out of our pocket. It's not coming out of Phil Murphy's pocket. He's completely immune to this. Do you understand? He doesn't pay anything. He doesn't lose a paycheck. He doesn't, if he gets a pension, do the governors get a pension? I don't think they do. He loses nothing. But we lose everything. We have allowed Phil Murphy to crush businesses in South Jersey and all over New Jersey. And the result is these lawsuits will eventually catch up with him. But his career as a Democrat, well, that could just move on to another state. Right? That's what Democrats do. He was the ambassador to Germany. The Biden administration could reward him with another ambassadorship. Why not? He's experienced. And he'll have a mansion in a fourth country, if you could believe it. He's got one here. He's got one in Germany and Italy, is my understanding. This millionaire just spends money. Look, my main criticism of Trump is that he spends too much money. But he at least spends it on us. Phil Murphy is spending it on himself. He spent it on a bunch of contact tracers, 3,000 of them, to give them a job at $22 to $25 an hour, calling people on the phone, harassing them about whether or not they were in contact with someone who had the beer virus. 70% of people don't interact on the phone. Gee, I wonder why. I wonder why people with smartphones don't answer the phone when some stranger from Trenton calls. This is an idiotic plan, and Phil Murphy is responsible for it. But rather than say, whoa, we messed up here, rather than cut his losses, he's doubling down, hoping to intimidate these guys. They have a GoFundMe page, by the way, Miracle of Miracles, that hasn't been shut down. So please, if you can, this story's on the Gateway Pundit. There's a link to the GoFundMe page, so please help them out if you can. Again, it's not about the gym. It's not about those guys. It's about Murphy becoming a king. And the next guy, look, even if you're a Democrat and you're like, yeah, screw those a-holes. Guess what? A Republican will have the same power. Chris Christie would have had the same power. And if Chris Christie didn't like your business because whatever Republican reason he doesn't like the business, or whatever reason, it wouldn't even matter. He'd have the power. And if it's your business, you're screwed. So wake up. As they say on the internet, wake up, sheeple. New Jersey is prioritizing cigarette smokers for beer virus vaccines because of their risk of severe disease. Oh, well, that's very interesting. Except, back in April, I remembered that smokers are hospitalized less often for beer virus. Yeah, it took me one Google search to find the article on WebMD. Okay? WebMD, I mean, this is a real article backed by real science. What is this article backed by? Oh, it's the state announcing they did something stupid again. The theory is, if you smoke, the smoke, because the beer virus tends to congregate in the throat region, the smoke kills the virus. So smokers, although they've got lots of other problems because they smoke, happen to be fairly resistant to the beer virus, according to the study. So why is New Jersey prioritizing them for the vaccine? Because no one does any research, I guess, because they are incompetent boobs who are bad at their jobs. There's only two groups of people you need to prioritize: the elderly and those with comorbidities, which are usually the same people. Those are the two groups of people who are not immune, who could die of the beer virus, who die in much higher numbers than literally everyone else. You could spend money instead on contact tracers that no one listens to, on wings of the hospitals that we already have. Build a new wing, completely separate from the hospital, to treat beer virus patients so they can't possibly infect people going for chemo or whatever. Because those people have compromised immune systems and need to be separated from beer virus patients. Oh my God, am I talking common sense? Someone call YouTube to cancel me. Governor Murphy defends New Jersey dining veto amid lawsuit over beer virus powers. Yes, another lawsuit, which we will pay for on both ends. We get to pay for the lawyers to defend Murphy's stupid position that's unconstitutional, and then we get to pay out all the awards, even though he effed it up, even though he went in the wrong direction. Why did he go in the wrong direction? Well, I say it's because he's a DNC diehard who will do anything for his party. And their party wanted to get Donald Trump. They wanted to damage the economy as much as possible to get Trump out of office. So he did all these things. Biden's going to be sworn in a few days. I think they're going to start magically undoing it. I think magically all the new sign. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it turns out we can open things up. Hey, everybody. And it'll be perfect timing for all his buddies in Goldman Sachs who have money and all the giant corporations who can gobble up all the spaces once owned by small business people, middle-class business people who once had their own business but are now forced to work at a franchise. See how that works? See, the franchise are owned by multinational corporations. You can't really get ahead in those places, I don't think. My opinion. Because you're always paying something to the people who are bigger than you. See how that works? If I open a card shop all on my own and it's super successful, I make all the money. But if I have to go with corporate card, corporate greeting card, and help them make cards and sell them, well, I have to give them something. Probably a licensing fee or whatever. Yeah, sounds like no big deal, except that's your whole business. That's your whole life you're investing. You're investing your life into propping up a major corporation. And, we used to have leftists in this country who hated corporations, but now they love them. Continuing. Governor Murphy, millions of New Jersey residents now eligible to receive beer virus vaccine. Isn't it great that Phil Murphy will decide whether or not you're eligible to get a vaccine that he said is killing everybody. Remember when everybody said, well, we can't have government health care because there'll be death panels. And that's the way the Republicans talked about it. And all the Democrats laughed. Death panels? Well, that's ridiculous. You're being very hyperbolic, sir. There's only one step away from that. Governor Murphy gets to decide who gets the vaccine that he believes is deadly, unless it's not that deadly. See how that works? And who's he prioritizing? Oh, right, smokers. People who, according to at least one study, are pretty resistant. Who else is he prioritizing? Well, he's prioritizing kicking muscleheads out of the gym, the healthiest people in the world, because he's afraid for them. Still doesn't seem to be prioritizing nursing homes very well. I mean, especially in the beginning. So these are the guys who make decisions, and now they are making life and death decisions. If you believe the beer virus is that bad, why would you ever vote for this moron again? Let's turn to a lighter side. New Jersey comedian Chris Gethard hosts New Jersey is the World podcast. Yes. He had a very controversial comedy album in 2019. I'm going to say the name of the comedy album, Pineys. Brace yourself. It was called Taylor Ham and Cheese. Taylor Ham, Egg and Cheese. I know. It should have been called Pork Roll and Cheese. We all know this, but Chris Gethard is a Jersey boy, so we have to give him a pass. I'm sorry. It's just, he's too close to New York. He doesn't know. He just doesn't know. He's been brainwashed by the North Jersey Taylor Ham people. Just let it go. Let it go and support the New Jersey is the World podcast. Because, as we all know, New Jersey kind of is. How South Jersey teachers are talking to students about the riot at the U.S. Capitol. I'm happy to report in this article, which I did a take. I like to do the takes where I don't read the article. I read it as I'm showing it to you. So I did a take like that, and then I got halfway through the article, and I realized, oh, they're doing a pretty good job. So the teachers in this article, a lot of them were doing a good job keeping their own political views out of the classroom, at least according to the article. Now, they could be lying. And believe me, I've met a lot of teachers, and a lot of them are left of Fidel Castro, and they would lie through their teeth in an article like this. So maybe take it with a grain of salt, but it was an upshot that they tried to teach the kids to be respectful of other people's opinions. So good for you, teachers who actually do that. There is Preservation New Jersey, and they have released list of the 10 most endangered historical places in New Jersey every year, and now they're seeking nominations. So if you know of a historical house or site that's falling down or might be destroyed, you can nominate them in, this is Patch. So you see the name of the article, you could just do a Google search for it or whatever, or hopefully other search engine search for it. Should pop right up. And if you have a historical site near you, we have one near us. That Stratford House I told you about. Hopefully that, I never found out what happened after the initial mini protest. Have to find out and see if they knocked it down. And finally, tomorrow is International Bagel Day. But I couldn't find a list of bagel places in New Jersey. Instead, in honor of Chris Gethard, New Jersey's best Taylor ham or pork roll sandwiches, it's pork roll, the 33 most delicious spots across the state. And this is from February. All right, you ready? Okay, that looks good. That's good pork roll. Slater's Deli in Leonardo, True's Salvage Cafe, Maplewood. These are all New Jersey. Johnny's Pork Roll, Red Bank. H&H Deli in Pennsauken. That's near me. I don't think I've been there, but it looks good. Town Hall Deli, South Orange. It's further north. Checkers Food and Spirits in Trenton. Summit Diner in Summit. It's in February, so I'm not sure if the diners are open, but hopefully they are. And you should call probably all these places before you go, because this was in February. Gronsky's Milk House in Highbridge. Old Town Deli in Boontown. Hot Bagels and More, Summers Point. I think I know where that is. Ooh, that bagel looks good. Jem's House of Bagels in Port Monmouth. Fredden Deli. Fredden. Fredden. I've never heard of Fredden. Where is that? They called it Taylor Ham in the description, so it must be up north. Amato Brothers, Oak Lynn. That's really near me. I have to try that. Boulevard Bagels, Palisades Park. Allenwood General Store in Wall. Fish and Pier Grill, Avalon. The Committed Pig in Manasquan, Morristown, and Summit. Love that name, Committed Pig. Jersey Roll in Seaside Heights. Bing's Deli, Avon by the Sea. Plaza Bagels and Deli, Clifton. That's a nice looking bagel. DeVello's Deli in Cherry Hill. Ooh, it's got a nice, they're not showing a sandwich, they're showing like their whole deli section. That looks good. Mystic Meat and Seafood Market, Little Egg Harbor. Not too far from me. That's a little further, but it's in driving range. Dee's Luncheonette in Hawthorne. Jenny's Cafe in Branchburg. Sugar Hill Sub Shop in Mays Landing. Look at this sign. No salt added. Wow, they're really against salt over there. Boxcar Bagel and Deli, Bogota. Beckman's Deli in Belmar. Not the deli that Atillis Gym is in, but the one up north. White Rose Diner in Linden. Ooh, look at that classic look of that place. That must be from the 50s. Green Village Deli in Green Village. Benny's Bread in Ocean City. The Greeks in Kearney. Hoguitos, also in Belmar, again, the North Jersey one. Township Bagel Cafe in Sewell. Oh, that's near me. That looks like a good bagel. Might have to go there. And that's it. Good one to end on. That looks like an everything bagel with pork roll. Pork roll sandwiches. So tomorrow, get yourself a bagel and get yourself some pork roll, egg, and cheese. Because that is the sandwich of South Jersey, my Pineys.